Hey guys, Ron here, and welcome to video number 6 of our 7 video series on the 7 big ways that new construction, that home building is broken right now for buyers all over the United States, and how as a realtor you can step into that space, you can step into that gap and begin to make a real difference to affect the outcome for your buyers and for land developers and for home builders, and most of all for you. So, wherever there's a big problem, if you've heard any of my videos before, you hear me talk about this, but wherever there's a big problem, very often there's an even bigger opportunity. And that is absolutely the case when it comes to home building. So my name is Ron Williams, and for about a decade now, we've been drilling down deep into these problems and the opportunities around helping buyers and builders and land developers grow their business. And so I'm a coach to realtors who are growing a business in new construction. I'm a coach to builders, and I'm also the founder of a website called Hoodle.com. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. But so this series right now, we're doing a 7 video series on how you can step into these set of problems that buyers have and the builders have when it comes to new construction. And as a realtor, you can begin to build thought leadership. You can begin to create real strategic difference. You can begin to leave all of your competition in the dust very, very quickly and grow your business. And so today we are on video number 6, and I'm calling this one, so technically it's not steering. And that might give you a little idea of where we're going. But what I'm talking about here today is the tendency, the habit, the proclivity, the propensity of realtors to when you're working with a buyer who's looking to build new, and we have this tendency to show them what is easy for us to find, what's convenient, what's top of mind awareness, or what works in our favor. I know that never, ever, ever happens, but sometimes it does. Let me give you a couple of examples, just so it makes a little bit more sense. There was, and I will not mention names or locations here, okay? You can't pry it out of me, but a couple of examples. One time Cindy and I were in a small community several hours from here, and as we do, because we're so fascinated with residential new construction, we stopped in at a local realtor office and talked to one of the realtors and said, hey, if somebody was wanting to build a new house around here, where could they build? Can you tell me a little bit about the neighborhoods that are available to build in? And the guy promptly told me, doesn't exist. Oh, what do you mean it doesn't exist? Well, there's just no new construction around here at all. Doesn't exist. Okay. So I took him at his word, and we went on our way and enjoyed our weekend. And about 6 months later, we were back in that same community. And it just so happened that we were staying at a bed and breakfast. And, as we're filling out the forms for the bed and breakfast, and the owner of the bed and breakfast says, so what do you guys do? And I said, well, we have this website about home building. It's a web platform for people who are wanting to build a new home all over the United States. And he said, really? Well, when are you going to bring it here? And I said, and I felt sorry for the guy, because he obviously did not know that there is no new construction in their beautiful community. And I said, well, we talked to a realtor last time we were here, and I don't know if you know, but there's really no home building that's going on around here. And he's like, well, I don't know who you talked to, but he said, I'm the head of zoning for our fair community, and I can think of 17, 18 neighborhoods where somebody could build a house. Wow. And that was one of many, many experiences we've had like this. Now, whether the realtor just didn't want to do new construction, but what he shared with me was there was no new construction, and that was not an opportunity. Let me tell you one more. So Cindy and I Another time we're traveling to a bigger city, and we're in a distant city, and we got invited to come meet with a group of realtors about what we were doing. And we sat down, and one of the realtors said at the start of the meeting, in our city, he said there are 360 new home neighborhoods. So that's all there is. There's 360, which sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you, it is not. It's really not. In most of these areas that we get into, we're finding that there are thousands of new home neighborhoods that really nobody has put together and knows about. So he said there's 360. Well, here's the deal. We had already researched it, and we'd studied it, and I knew there was probably upwards of 1,200 or so, maybe more than that, places where somebody could build a new house. And the guy said there's 360. And I think I repeated 360. He said, guarantee it. Absolutely. 360. That's all there is. So, we didn't want to embarrass him. We didn't want to do anything. We went ahead, had our meeting. And later on in the meeting, he began to kind of challenge it, and he said, 360. I said, I don't know where the discrepancy is, because, we've done some research, and we're thinking there's probably closer to 800,000, maybe 1,200 new home neighborhoods in the greater area. And he said, oh, whoa. He said, so, I'm not sure where the 360 number came from. And he said, well, I only do production builders because I get paid faster and it's easier for me to deal with. Okay, that's fine. But here's the thing, if he's sharing with people that all their options are 360 because that's what's convenient for him, right? So let me be clear now. When this happens, when realtors are dissuading somebody or persuading them not to build because it's not in my best interest, or when we are doing what's convenient, what's easy, we found this on the MLS, or it's a production builder and it's easier for me to get to, that is not steering. It is not tying. It is not redlining. It's not anything that I can think of. But let me ask you a question. Where does it fall in your thinking if we are convincing a buyer to do something that maybe is not really fully in their best interest because it's what works for me? Okay, so gray area alert here. We're deep into gray area here. What does it mean when we're doing that? Because as a fiduciary, and we've talked about this, and you guys know this, as a fiduciary, my responsibility is not to do what's in my best interest or what's easy for me, but what's in their best interest, right? And that's why they have chosen you or me or somebody else as their trusted fiduciary and their trusted guide in this process. And so here's the thing. This happens all the time. It happens all the time, all over the United States. And, when it comes to selling used homes, here's what's interesting. If we're selling a pre-owned home, that's not really an issue because we all have access, and so do they, to the MLS. And so they can see everything that is listed and everything that's pretty much on the market minus the for sale by owners. But when it comes to new homes, it's an entirely different scenario. And here's the thing. The buyers deserve to know their options. So do we ever lean towards what's easy, what's convenient for me, what's top of mind, or what works in my favor, including maybe a lot of realtors who will say, you really don't want to mess with that because it doesn't fit with me. Don't worry about new construction. Let's just go get a pre-owned home. It's easier. I get paid faster. That never comes out quite like that, but that's really what's happening in a lot of cases. And I know it's happening because I have a lot of buyers that tell me this all the time. A lot of times buyers will say, when we've researched and talked to many people who want to build a house, they'll say, we've never had a realtor who's actually offered to walk us through the process. It's crazy. But so here's what I'm not suggesting in this whole thing, okay? by learning all the builders and the neighborhoods and really knowing the buyer's options. I'm not suggesting that a buyer is going to want to go talk to every builder. They're not. Nor would a builder want to talk to a buyer who's meeting with every builder. Nor do you, nor should you. But here's what you should do. Okay, we need to be pressing forward. We need to be pushing the envelope towards learning every neighborhood that we can, every builder that we can, and understanding the differences in all those options. Because whether or not the buyer wants to meet them all or travel to every neighborhood, they at least want to know what their options are, right? I mean, this is arguably the most complex purchase that anyone will ever make in their life, where they've got a lot of decisions to make. It's very big impact. In fact, for most of them, it's even a bigger impact than buying a pre-owned home. They've done that many times or several times, but buying new is a totally different scenario. And here's the thing. You have the opportunity to step into this and to begin to learn the neighborhoods and learn the builders and learn the types of construction even, and learn the mortgage options. And very quickly, you will separate yourself from all your competitors because they're not doing it and you are. And when you do this, you not only separate yourself from your competitors, you know, to where there's all of a sudden there's not 5,000 or 10,000 competitors. There's maybe 5 or 10. And we talked about that in some of the other videos. If you haven't seen them, go back and find the other videos because I go into a little bit more detail about that. But you truly want to be in a place where you become the go-to resource, the go-to realtor for all things new construction in your market, and you can do it. Now, I'm not saying it's simple. I'm not saying it's overnight. This is not like driving up to McDonald's and saying, hey, I want to order up conversations with all the realtors in my market. I want to know, or all the builders in my market, and know their differences. This is building a business, it's building a brand, and it's building thought leadership. And here's the thing, there's an enormous opportunity right now in every market in the United States, because in every market there are very, very few realtors who are doing it, and you can do it. So I want to encourage you that, because in fact, this is why we built Hoodle in the first place, is to empower the buyer to really see their options. And so Hoodle is a new homes web community. It's a web platform for the home building process where the buyer can find their neighborhoods where they could build, their builders. They can find the handful of realtors who actually specialize in new construction. Maybe that's you. And, really empowering them, but also empowering you to help them make their dreams come true in building their dream home. So listen, I would love to get your feedback on this issue. I know it's a gray area. It's not steering, it's not tying, but it's certainly not providing the utmost best service that we can to those people who are wanting to build a new home. You have an opportunity to step into the space, and other realtors do too, and begin to make some massive changes here that are going to play out for everybody's best interest: the buyer, the builder, the land developer, and you. And we would love to have you join us on this journey. We've gotten so much feedback. I'm so grateful for those of you who reached out to us and saying, hey, thanks for calling this stuff out, and thanks for this teaching, and would love to get your feedback. If there's anything that you want to cuss or discuss, reach out to me, send me a message, post a comment on the video. But just get in touch with us. If you're interested in seeing the other videos or seeing the ebook on the all 7 problems, you can go to newhomenicheblueprint.com. newhomenicheblueprint.com. You can download that ebook. It's absolutely free. There's also a little course that we put together there for realtors to teach you the foundations of starting your own new home niche business in your market. And it's needed in every single city in the United States, bar none. And so there's that. You can also, we have a Facebook group that we've just started called New Home Niche Blueprint. Facebook group, and you can join us there. And finally, if you haven't been to the Hoodle website, you really should check that out. If you're interested in becoming a part of Hoodle as an affiliate realtor, reach out to me if you're interested in bringing it to your city or helping to grow it in your city, because there's enormous wins that you can get from being a part of it. So listen, thank you so much for being a part of these videos. Next week, we're doing video number 7. It's a really important one. It's one where you can step into it and quickly begin to get wins for yourself, your buyers, your builders, and create thought leadership for yourself. So I invite you to come back next week for the next video. It'll be here on my Facebook page. It'll be on our YouTube channel and other places. And thank you for your time. God bless you guys. Have an amazing and productive week, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks.